One of the great challenges, if you're a realtor as an independent contractor, because managing your finances is your own responsibility, it's very important that you start your savings plan right away, because the earlier you start your savings plan, the more years that you can build up your return. And the reason why that's important is because of what's known as the compounding effect, because your returns compound over time, and the earlier you start it, the more the compounding effect can grow your income. So to learn more about this, we're with Victoria Gillespie of the Realtors Federal Credit Union, a division of Northwest Federal Credit Union. Can you tell us a little bit about compounding interest?
Compounding interest is that you have your principal investment. That principal gets interest for that month. The following month, you then get interest on the principal and interest. So if you continue to let that roll over, you gain interest on interest in a repetitive manner, which helps that asset grow more quickly.
So, is there a specific amount of time that I should aim to invest for?
Early and long. I know that seems like a quick answer, but in our world of cost of living, inflation, and all the things we've discussed, it's very important that we put our dollars to work as quickly as possible for us. So when a young person gets that first job out of college, if they could just begin a systematic investment into whether it be a mutual fund, savings, what have you, they get the benefit of that long time horizon fed into compounding that is amazing. It is that no additional risk of moving up the financial triangle can really make up for the long-term time effect. So I just want to encourage our realtors, it's never too late to begin. However, the sooner you begin, the more that money and compound effect will work for you.
So the impact of compounding depends on how often it's compounded, is that right? So can you talk a little bit about what's the difference if the bank says, well, we're going to compound your interest monthly, or we're going to do it quarterly, or we're going to do it annually?
You want your investment to be compounded as frequently as possible, because again, you're getting the interest on the interest, so the sooner they give that to you, the better. Most financial institutes, for example, here at our credit union, they're going to compound interest on a monthly basis. So you really don't have to make a selection. I will give you the example on our certificate, for example. You could have the option to have that interest sent to you monthly or compounded into the product. As you can imagine, we highly encourage our members to have that interest go back into the savings product so that they can reap the benefit of the compounding effect.
Mm-hmm. How long would it take for your money to double, given the rate of compounding?
To double your investment, a simple rule of thumb, and I don't know if you've heard this before, is 72. You take the number 72, and you literally take whatever the rate you're getting on the underlying investment, and you divide 72 by that number. So for a specific example, you take 72, and I have a product that's yielding 5%. You take 72, divided by 5, and it gives you something like 14 point whatever, okay? It's going to take 14 years for that product to double your investment. So on the opposite side, if you could find a yielding investment, again, you went up your financial triangle, you had already taken care of your guaranteed and conservative side, and you were diversifying, and you found a vehicle that yielded perhaps 10%. You take 72, divide it by 10, and you would get there in 7 years. So you can see that the higher the rate of return or the yield, the more quickly your investment would double.
Well, is there any risk or drawback to using the compounding interest?
There really aren't. The whole concept of compounding works to benefit our savers and our members. So there are really no negatives. I will tell you, there was a quote out there by Albert Einstein. He often referred to compounded interest as the eighth wonder of the world because there were no negatives and only positives to our savers.